Hello, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I do mostly bookish videos, but sometimes other stuff too. And just like that, 2021 is done and over with. Hello 2022, hello all of you. I hope you had a good holiday season. And not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I am here to share with you some of my most disappointing reads of 2021. There is a bright side where I only have 4 books on this list, and I really feel like it's due to the fact that I really leaned into my mood reader tendencies in 2021, and by that I mean I had no set TBR. There weren't any books that I was determined to get through or I forced myself to get through. I honestly picked a bunch of random books that I would find on the Libby app. So for a lot of the books in 2021, I went into them with 0 expectations. If I enjoyed them, great, fantastic, what a surprise. If I didn't, that's fine too, because you know what? I didn't have any expectations to start with. Although this is a very short list, I still wanted to share them with you because I want to know if any of you out there agree with me, or are some of these your favorites of 2021. So let's get right into the nitty-gritty and let me tell you about my most disappointing reads of 2021. These are in no particular order, I just wrote them down as I saw them on my Goodreads list. The first disappointing read is Sea Witch Rising by Sarah Henning. This is a sequel to Sea Witch, which was one of my favorite books of I think 2018-ish. Book 1, Sea Witch, was just so much more exciting to me. We had a lot of wonder and surprise in book 1, getting to know the characters and the magic and just the actual mystery of the first book. This sequel seemed to lean into the politics and war side, and I didn't love the new set of characters that we were following. I do think this one was just a case of not my cup of tea. Like, all of the elements in this sequel weren't for me, weren't stuff that I adored. I barely made it through the book and had to give it a 2 stars because I just was not feeling it. The second book on this list is Small Favors by Erin A. Craig, and this is actually the same author who wrote A House of Salt and Sorrows, which I gave a 5 stars. So atmospheric. I love the characters. It was a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, and I think it was done fantastically well. It was just such a twist, so different. You know, it wasn't a Beauty and the Beast, a Cinderella retelling. It was just, I loved everything about the author's debut novel. And I think that's why this sophomore novel disappointed me so much. I don't think the book was bad, it just didn't live up to my expectations. I really set the bar high, and I do think that's my fault. I really hyped up this sophomore novel. I do enjoy that this was once again a not so common fairy tale reimagining. This was based on Rumpelstiltskin. I will say I didn't quite see the similarity as much as I did the first one. She just does them with like a twist. It's not necessarily the fairy tale that we remember, or maybe I'm just thinking of the Disney versions. I don't know. So this one was just a little different with the reimagining portion. This next one, it really hurts me to put it on this list, but it needs to be done. I need to be 100% honest with you guys. And I'm talking about The Iron Raven by Julie Kagawa. You all know how much I love the Iron Fae series, but it needed to be said. This one was disappointing. It was a letdown. I did film a whole book talk and explained exactly what elements of the book disappointed me and what I didn't like. So if you haven't checked that out, I will link it up in the cards for you to see. I am still going to buy the next book because I love this world. So if you see me pre-ordering the next book, leave me alone, okay? Thanks. So I know I said these books were in no particular order, but I really saved the worst for last. Not worst as in like worst book ever, just most disappointing. And that is The Deep by Alma Katsu. And this one bamboozled me, it catfished me, and I will say I have heard other booktubers talk about this book, and I am not the only one who feels lied to, okay? So there's a common theme here. This was marketed as a paranormal Titanic story, but it was not the ghost story that I was craving for the month of October. I chose this book in October. I think it was for a readathon, but I thought it would give me all of the creepy, eerie ghost vibes. I mean, it would be a ghost story and set on the Titanic. I mean, there was so much there that you could have done with that. And it was like the Titanic setting like made no difference. It was just a random background character. I mean, if you would have changed the setting of this story, it would have been exactly the same. Like, that's how much the Titanic portion did not matter or impact the story. This was not scary at all. I would say this book reminded me more of Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. If you've read that, you'll know what I'm saying by interpersonal relationships. It was just, it wasn't a ghost story. Most disappointing book of 2021. And that's all I got for you. Those are the only books in 2021 that truly, truly disappointed me enough that I wanted to share my thoughts about it with you. So that if you're thinking about picking these up, just know it might not be a 5 stars, or maybe it was for you. Let me know down in the comments. I'm always down to discuss books with you all. And that's it to this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for next week's favorites of 2021, a much happier, bit longer list. My name is Elle. Happy reading, and I'll see you in next time's video.